happy Tuesday. Welcome. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. I'm going to give everybody just a few minutes to come into the room. Hey, hot retarded chick. How are you? All right, so we know y'all can see me. Hopefully, everybody is doing good. This is me talking. Hey, Valdis. Hey, Calentis. Sometimes my computer goes slow, but my phone go faster. So I'll be having to look at y'all comments over there. Hey, Florida guy. I'm doing good. It's going well. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Derek. Hey, Little Rock. Hey, George. Hey, Lavon. Welcome, y'all. So hopefully everybody is having a good Tuesday. Come on into the room, Evro and Black Introvert. Hey, Matt. Hey, Samuel. So, y'all, thank you, Samuel. So, let me break something down to y'all real quick. So y'all don't have to send me crazy messages and this, then the other. Hey, DJ Moss. So, I want to let y'all know that hey Cajun, I want to let y'all know that the call-in show last week went really well. I was excited about that and pleasantly pleased with how it went for me doing it for my first time. Thank you to everybody that called in and supported. That was super dope. And some of y'all gave me some really supportive and encouraging words. If you was here, you know what was going on, okay? So that was cool. Thank y'all for that. But for the people in the room, y'all remember I had one particular caller, okay, that thought he was going to get on the line and say words that we know are not appropriate in certain spaces. So let me break this down. So my moderators was making it very known as they were dropping a number in the chat, no profanity. Now, the people watching me are adults. So I assume you have adult common sense. So you know that me saying no profanity would also include words that would usually be socially unacceptable. To me, that just makes sense. Now, let me put it like this. I am an advocate for free speech, meaning I advocate you not going to jail. That does not mean I advocate you not getting popped in your mouth if you are in public spaces. For every action, there is an equal or greater reaction. So say what you must, say what you will, but you will be held to consequences. Okay, let me stop. I'm not technically advocating violence. I don't want y'all to get that, twisted or anything like that. But just know you will be held accountable for things you say. Okay? I just don't advocate you going to prison for it, but you will deal with the consequences. Okay? So he thought he was going to come on my show and say little words because you think that the freedom of speech, you think your 2 minutes on the line with me is more important than all the time I put into building my channel. You think that me possibly taking a strike against my channel or getting my channel deleted is worth you saying that 3-letter word. And if y'all were here, you know what I'm talking about. So he decided to send me a very nasty message where he said some inappropriate things and so on and so forth. And hey, all I can say is good riddance, okay? Bye. Keep it moving. Move around. Because apparently you ain't been watching long enough or you ain't been paying attention. Okay. All right then. So, that should let y'all know for the next call-in show. Act like you got some sense. It's just that simple. You can say what you want, but have respect for me and what I'm doing over here on my platform. Don't like if you are threatening it, I'm gonna have a problem. Rightfully so. That just makes sense. So, but yeah, no. So I just had to get that off my chest and let y'all know, because we a family over here. So I let y'all know what be going on and what we dealing with. So and then people get mad because I don't cover the stories they want me to cover and stuff like that. Well, how about this? You can, always cash at me, attach a note, the story you would like me to cover, and we'll do it like that. Otherwise, you can create a platform and talk about it yourself. Just options. I like to give, people options. We all have them. So, but hey, Boom Boom. Hey, Odinga. So, welcome to everybody that's just coming in the room or whatever. Black introverts said a lot of these people have no life, Rhonda. I deal with the same stuff on my channel. It gets pretty crazy. And like me, I'm like really chill. So I don't mess with nobody. You know what I mean? I kind of stay in my own little lane. But every now and again, people will try to test me. They'll try to comfort me. So I just have to remind people where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Dr. Lily, people just wanted to come on my call-in show and say whatever. And you can say whatever in the streets. You can say whatever in your home. You can say whatever over there, but you're not going to threaten my channel and the work I put in just so you can feel empowered for the 90 seconds you talking to me. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. Like, we all know what's going on over here with YouTube. I constantly talk to y'all about this stuff. I tell y'all about this stuff, even putting like certain comments under my videos, just kind of being careful with that, because all of that stuff adds to, the algorithms or whatever. So I've been seeing like 8,500 forever. How is that possible? So, we just trying to work around some stuff. That's it. But, they don't know, everyone. They don't know. I ain't showed on that side of me yet, see? But, Anyway. So, switching gears a little bit, y'all. I want to throw this in here because I saw this online today. I saw some people mentioning how this little boy was attending his daycare and he was being molested at the daycare, I think for allegedly now for several years, and I think they threw out the case or something like that. I saw a lot of people talking about this story. I have not really confirmed this story, but regardless of the fact, I wanted to say this, and I try to say this often, but for people in the chat with children, with nieces, with nephews, with whoever, okay? Please make sure y'all are talking to your children about sexual abuse, sexual assault, molestation, rape, all of these things. Good touch, bad touch. There is certain language for every age that is appropriate. You can find ways to talk about it online and things like that. But this is very super duper important. We are not living in the same world as 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. You just can't expect your kids to know or learn from the world or figure it out or expect them to take the right steps to protect themselves. That's what parents and guardians are supposed to do. So that's super duper duper freaking important, especially if you know what is going on, even with this government. You literally have people in the government, okay, being tied to like human trafficking and sexual molestation and all this other crazy stuff, y'all. So it's happening. You cannot cover your eyes. You have to talk to your children about these things. Like, super duper freaking important. And so I just wanted to throw that in there. Because y'all know I'm always looking out for the babies, and we got to protect them and keep them safe to the best of our abilities. Nothing is 100%, but it is your duty to give your children the tools to the best of your ability, okay, to have a safe, happy, productive life. So I just want to throw that out there. But y'all, so the internet has been on fire the last couple days. It's some cutthroatness that has been going on over there in the DNC. A lot of people have been enjoying it, eating their virtual popcorn. I've been one of those people. Hillary versus Tulsi. So I see they're still keeping this Russia thing going. Russia did it. Russia bad. Russia's fault. Russia is the enemy. Russia this, Russia that. If you want to discredit anything, literally, if you want to discredit anything, just say Russia. I mean, that's literally all you have to do these days. I'm like, and that's crazy, man. When you think about it on a very surface, fundamental level, it's crazy how you can attach one word to something and it like puts people in a frenzy where it's like they don't even want to touch the subject or they don't even want to delve further because it taints it. It's like a scarlet letter or something. And I don't know. It's so weird and funny watching it happen. I said Tulsi about to go covert and snatch a body. LOL. She about to show them the army skills we learned to destroy a body. LOL. I don't know now. You know the Clintons got those hit men. So I don't know, but let's look real quick at this tweet. So this is from heavy.com. I am Tulsi trans as Tulsi Gabbard versus Hillary Clinton feud grows. When Hillary Clinton hinted in a podcast that Tulsi Gabbard was a favorite of the Russians. The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. Gabbard, a military veteran, did not take the accusation lightly, having already called out the New York Times and CNN during their own debate for smears against her. Oh, that's my alarm, yeah. For calling out smears against her, she quickly called out Clinton on Twitter, writing that Clinton was a warmonger. On Friday, October 18th, Tulsi is a Russian asset. Trending. Twitter gonna get it on up there. They gonna move it up to the top. And on Saturday, October 19th, I Am Tulsi briefly hit the top nationally for Twitter trends. Briefly. As everyone chimed in with their thoughts and opinions. Clinton's spokesman says that she was talking about Republicans, not Russians, grooming Gabbard, but she did say at one point that a certain Democratic candidate was a Russian favorite. So let's see. Tulsi said, "Great. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. You, the queen." And then she added her. Look, when you add somebody, when you mention them, it's like real deal right there. Like, we ain't playing no games. We not doing no subtweeting. We not doing no Twitter fingers. I'm gonna let you know right where I'm at with it. So Tulsi added the lady. You, the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption, and personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long, have finally come out from behind the curtain. From the day I announced my candidacy, there has been a concerted campaign to destroy my reputation. I mean, is she lying though? We wonder who was behind it and why. Now we know it was always you through your proxies and powerful allies in the corporate media and war machine. Afraid of the threat I pose, it's now clear that this primary is between you and me. Oh, Tulsi calling her out now. Don't cowardly hide behind your proxies. Join the race directly. But yeah. So, you know, all the establishment people came out and, you know, sent their little tweets or whatever. I tried to find Kamala Harris' little tweet. I couldn't find it. But of course, she came out backing Hillary Clinton. You got Cory Booker with the gift. He like, look, this cracked me up. Oh boy, she didn't know how to take that heat. She had to woof it off. And with the little shoulder shake. Thank you, Valdez. Valdez, don't be sending me money from Russia. Now they're gonna put a hit on me. I'm gonna be next. They're gonna be saying, man, that girl over there on YouTube, that RhondaMary girl, man, you know that girl a Russian asset, right? Thank you, Valdez. I said this super chat is to Rhonda from Russia with love. Thank you, Valdez. But you had other people, you know, the establishment people coming out, you know, having some little response or whatever. And then you have people like, you know, Bernie Sanders and Andrew Yang actually taking up for Tulsi. Tulsi Gabbard has put her life on the line to defend this country. People can disagree on issues, but it is outrageous for anyone to suggest that Tulsi is a foreign asset. Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard deserves much more respect, and thanks to this, she literally just got back from serving our country abroad. Some other people that took up for Tulsi: Beto, Pete, and Marianne. What's that lady name? You know, the one that's kind of hipster. I think her name Marianne. I think I'm saying it right. But basically, other than Bernie, your kind of less establishment, people in the running, I would say people that I would presume are not as much up under the Clintons' butt, up under the DNC's butt, as a Elizabeth Warren, okay, a Kamala Harris, a Cory Booker. But you have them coming trying to defend her. But I've been talking to y'all about this for a while. We know why this is happening. To me, it makes no sense that this could be happening considering what we saw in 2016. And why would you like Hillary? Like, let me tell y'all, a lot of people that voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016 don't actually like Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is not well liked or received. Like, let's just keep it real. Hey, Jose. They just don't like her. So this is a perfect time to create this. Like, this is a perfect time for Tulsi to just jump in there and create another viral buzz. Very opportunistic for her, but I think it sheds a particular bad light on the DNC because you can see how much similar they are to what they were doing in 2016, what they were doing to Bernie. And now to me, I'm like, okay, so when she was vice chairwoman of the DNC, oh, no clue she was a Russia agent or any of these other things about her being an Assad apologist and all this. But all of a sudden, now that she doesn't, I guess, play by the DNC rules, everybody just wants to smear her. So I'm like, have these people learned anything? And to me, you got people like Jabari Sellers. Is that him? Jabari. What's the guy named? Bakari Sellers. Taking up for Hillary Clinton and parroting this Russia thing. And you have all these Black people rallying behind people like Bakari Sellers. And I'm like how? Like, make it make sense to me. Maybe I just don't get it. To me, just what Tulsi represents on the very surface level, right? Kind of like standing up to the establishment seems to be what people have said they want. And then when it happens, it's just not the same reaction. But all of these freaking commentators like Bakari Sellers, like how Retarded Chick says, money talks. And so all of these freaking commentators and all these other people, they have agendas. Most of the times they are attached to a candidate. We see how Simone Sanders went from being a commentator to now she is working on Bernie Sanders' campaign. So her allegiance is going to be to Bernie Sanders. Some of these people sitting on these panels, they are going to parrot or promote their agenda. Like, it just makes sense. So, but I'm particularly glad this is happening because hopefully, I really, really hope it's that like little like bit of mustard seed hope that this is waking up people's eyes to what is happening when you see how the media smear certain candidates, when you see how Google shadow bans certain candidates, when you see how YouTube and Facebook, all these people are on board, like, is that not like affecting the campaign or colluding against certain candidates? I mean, because that's what I see. I say let the freaking people decide. And so, if anything, I think she kind of hope, like, I'm really, I don't know though. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Everyone said, have you seen the exposed CNN? I saw like bits and pieces of it here and there. But I didn't see anything that really caught my eye or anything that we didn't really already know about CNN. Hey, Gab. But I'm like, okay. So I just learned this like the other day. When I address something, I can just put it up here. So I'm gonna start doing this for y'all super chats. And when I respond to something, that's pretty cool. So especially people watching back can tell, like, you know, who I'm talking to or whatever. But I really hope this is the start of something new, where the DNC can have a freaking fresh start and basically be based on what it was supposed to be, or at least what they're telling me it's supposed to be based on, which is democracy. Like, so let the people decide. So hopefully that'll turn into this, but I don't know. The establishment is so freaking strong. We don't know what'll happen. So we'll see. I'll keep my eyes on it. Y'all know I've been watching Tulsi, particularly because of her these lawsuits she's gonna be doing against like Google and stuff like that. And all of this is interconnected. Like this censorship stuff, why this is so important. And it's funny because Tulsi literally said this in a video. She was like, if they can do this to a candidate that's literally running on the national debate stage for 2020, they certainly can do it to you guys. So that makes sense. But we'll see what happens. It's getting good. I've been eating my popcorn, especially when Bernie jumped in there. I was like, okay then, Bernie. I didn't think Bernie was going to say anything. But, okay, y'all. So let's talk about, since Patina ready to talk about this. Y'all, let's talk about this always. So always feminine products. I'm pretty sure, we all know what that is. And because we are all adults, and I assume that all adults in some fashion know about periods. Because if you don't have one, you directly deal with somebody that does in some capacity. And okay, let's take a look at this. All right, so always removes packaging. Female package. I can't even say that, y'all. Female symbol to make sanitary towels inclusive. All right, this is from Yahoo News. So here's the packaging. A leading sanitary product brand has announced its decision to remove a feminine logo from packaging in order to be more inclusive. Always owned by Procter & Gamble will remove the feminine Venus symbol, a sign derived from astrological symbols often used to represent females, from its packaging. The symbol is currently used on the packaging of individual sanitary towels insert in multi-packs sold by the brand. So, okay, I'm gonna keep reading then until y'all. This move is out of consideration for transgender and non-binary people who use the products. It follows a series of complaints on Twitter from transgender activists. So they basically came to the outrage mob on Twitter. Okay. Campaigners Millie Boom and Ben Saunders were among the first to call out the company for having a female symbol on their packaging. Both individuals have since made their accounts private. In a letter to Saunders, which has since been shared online, Cheryl, a member of the Always team, confirmed the new packaging design will begin to replace the old one from December 2019 and onwards. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so y'all can see the female symbol here. All right, so we know not everyone is on board for this. So I just want to look. I just want to see, like, what is the actual definition of female, okay? So, because I think it's interesting that this Yahoo article used the word female in particular. I'm going to tell you why, okay? Definition of female: of relating to or being the sex that typically has the capacity to bear young or produce eggs. Made of usually adult members of the female sex. Okay. Characteristics of girls, women, or the female sex. Okay. Capable of bearing young or producing eggs. Now, what I think is interesting that this article uses the word female in particular is because I thought we were in a battle over gender norms, right? So, like, man and woman, but female and male are strictly biological terms that we actually use across species. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? So this whole time, like every single day, the needle is moved further, okay? This is why I speak out against radical progressiveness, because it's never ending. It's literally never ending. There will always be more to complain about. There will always be something more to be sensitive about. There will always be more feelings, right? This is why science is very important, okay? So, we went from, this is, I just don't want to follow gender norms. I just want to dress how I want and act how I want. And I think most people, well, maybe I can't speak for most people, but I can certainly speak for me. I don't give a crap. Do you, boo? Like, be who you are, whatever. But when we get into trying to change things that are common knowledge, actually the same, terms that are the same across species. Okay. You can have a female fish, a male fish, a female bear, a male bear. Okay. That is because of what they are able to do, reproduce or not reproduce, typically. Okay. Not only that, there are certain markers that we can see with our own two eyes that typically give us the understanding of whether somebody is female or male. So they want us to ignore all of this for people's comfort level. To my understanding, that Venus symbol was, I always attached that symbol to more so chromosomes than how a woman behaves or carries herself or how she chooses to identify. But regardless, every single time, I'm telling y'all, the needle is pushed further and further, and there is no end. There is no end in sight. And like, I try not to be like the gloom and doom channel. You know what I mean? Like, that's really not my lane. But I'm telling y'all, I think we have passed the mark. How do you stop it now? How? Tell me how. How do you stop it? How do you stop it? And things we parrot socially will become a part of our laws. That's why I always tell people, be attentive to the things you normalize. Be attentive to the things you give attention to, or you believe in, or you accept. Okay? And I made this video last week, y'all, of the it was a video of the men like having periods, right? And they're trying to be controversial. You had a man leaving a freaking blood spot on the freaking bed. You had a man walking into I think he was like in a gym with a tampon string hanging. I'm like, okay, marketing 101, cause controversy. But I told y'all in that video, it's easy, man. It's easy to just be like, oh, it's just a commercial. It's just this, it's just that. But when you look at all the other things that are going along with this, okay, you literally have hashtags on Twitter saying people menstruate, people have periods, like all kind of stuff. When all of these things are combined and working along each other, now I start to think, okay, bam, there's an agenda. There's a message that they're trying to get me to feel. They're trying to get me to feel something. Well, I don't even want to say subliminally. I think that commercial was trying to toe the line, like, oh, we just want you we just want men to be more comfortable talking about it. Like, what? Thank you, Oliver. We just want men to be more comfortable talking about it. Oliver said, thanks for sharing this game. Keep it up. Biological men will be able to give birth soon, by the way. It's already happening, according to them. The mental illness the APA tried to keep us away from. But like people, man, today you have to be so critical. When people say television programming, like it's real. When people say social engineering, it's real. Okay. Things are being pushed so much. And all it takes is that little seed. And over time, before you know it, you're like, how the hell did we end up here? When did people start believing this? Y'all, there are people in, I don't even know where, but like in the UK or something, that are chipping their, like, I can't remember, it's their finger or their wrist. Y'all tell me, like, if y'all know the country that I'm talking about. But there are literally people being chipped up to go through the freaking train station quicker, to leave their phones, leave their credit cards, leave all this other stuff. This is happening in real time. I'm telling y'all, when people used to say this years ago, like, all right, those cell phones are coming one day, you know, and people talk about like the mark of the beast and stuff like that. I'm sure y'all are familiar with like that coming from like a biblical standpoint and all this. I used to say it's no way. It's no way, because people will not accept it. They won't accept it. It doesn't make sense. But I'm telling you, man, make a commercial about something. It can be anything. And that is just proof. You literally have people in real time getting chipped up. That is literally just proof that you do enough marketing, you do enough social engineering, people will become okay with anything. Anything. I have, that story particularly just made me believe that. I promise you, let them start chipping up people here right now. Let them put out an iPhone commercial about it. Let Apple be the one to release the product. Let it be $1,000. You're gonna have so many people ready to give it a cool feature or something. It can do something a little fun. Make it seem like Android can't do it. People right on board. They're with it. So I'm telling y'all, like, every single time you see something now, especially when all of these moving parts are kind of like lining up, you have to be curious. You have to question it, man. And this is seeping into the laws, into the school systems, into the bathrooms, and all of that. And there's a thin line between personal individuality and you starting to affect other people's, from the way they're receiving education to impacting their kids and all kind of stuff. Louis, I think that 17 said, put an app on the back and it will sell. Real talk. Real talk. Wayne said only sheep will follow this because they won't think for themselves. But I'm telling y'all, like, you do something enough time, and the mind is like, the mind can be really fragile, man. The mind can be really fragile. And I was just saying this on Twitter today. I was like, the difference between a physical war and a psychological war, the tools to win a psychological war are free. They're free. You're sitting on your phone. You can research, you can study, you can read a book. There's things you can do to unplug and things like this. It's free. But you have people that won't do it. We're so easily influenced, man, and social media has made it worse. And then the crazy part about this is, and I was thinking about this today because I saw a clip on Twitter, And I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick, and if so, I'll show it to you guys. Did I save it? Hold on, y'all. All right, let's see. Here it is. All right, so let me tell y'all another thing about this. I'm gonna show y'all on Twitter and show you why when you go down certain paths, it's just no stopping. And I'm gonna tell y'all how crazy these people are, and it's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched because it's already happening. All right. So this lady, let me share my screen. This lady is on the red table talk that's with Jada Pinkett Smith and her family, talking about the effects of being a transracial adoptee. So even for me to say that language being used in itself, those are the seeds I was just talking about. For that language to be planted there, those are the seeds that they are putting out there, that these terms are going to become more and more common. They're not in quotation marks. Let me see. Can y'all see? Let me see. Can y'all see my screen? Hold on. Do it again. No, I don't think I was. Let me okay, wait. Okay, let me see. Maybe I can see that now. It's not. It's acting weird. When I share my screen. Okay, let's try like this. All right, there we go. All right, so y'all watch this real quick.
Black folks, because it's not that I don't want to identify as a Black woman, right? But not growing up with Black culture, when I met my birth mother and my whole birth family, I was a little bit afraid to meet them because they're a Black family, and I haven't been around that, and so I can't consider myself like alien to you, like completely unknown. But I don't identify with Black folks because I feel my own sense of fear or like illegitimacy is how I feel even sitting at this table with you, because I feel like you three are legitimate Black people.
You are legitimate Black people. Girl, did you just say that? Lord bless you, Lord. Let me ask y'all something. Look, I mean, because you gotta make stuff make sense. You gotta make it make sense, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and talk about this girl's experience. I cannot speak for her. All Black people are not the same. We have different experiences. We come from different backgrounds, neighborhoods, community, schools, everything else. So I'm not as interested in speaking on her experience as where we are headed as a culture and what this says about what is currently happening. All right. If gender is a social construct, If gender is a social construct, what exactly stops race, ethnicity, or nationality from being a social construct? What? Make it make sense. This girl just told you her own experience. Like, my body look black, but my mind, how I was raised, my culture, what I know, I don't feel black. I'm not black. Y'all authentic black women, and I just look it on the outside. Tell me she feels, because we're moving on feelings now. We got to keep it consistent. We're moving on feelings, not logic, not what people can see with their own eyes. It doesn't matter that I can look at you and tell you have larger hands, you have a harder bone structure, you have an Adam's apple, you have a couple of hairs coming out your chin. Doesn't matter. If you tell me you feel like a woman today, I am supposed to accept it. If you tell me you are a woman, regardless of what I see with my own two eyes, regardless of the genitalia that you carry, regardless of your ability to produce or to reproduce or not reproduce, I am supposed to go off what you feel in the inside you are, regardless of how you present to the world. What makes it different? This, from all indicators, look like a black woman to me. She looks like a black woman to me. But she's telling me I do not feel like a black woman. So Michael Ray says she means culturally. That may very well be so, but do you know where the problem comes in at? The problem comes in at is when you tie names to these things, you validate people in their feelings, and you accept it socially. So what would be the difference? Regardless of if she say, I feel this culturally, right? Like if a woman says, by American culture standards, I don't feel feminine. Culturally, I don't feel feminine. When I see freaking Tyra Banks or Ivanka Trump on TV and I'm told those are women, I culturally don't feel accepted. I culturally don't feel like that. You can change the wording all you want, but on the very surface level, we are validating people, telling them regardless of your appearance or what I can physically see with my eyes or what your literal identity markers are telling me about you, your feelings trump that. So all I'm telling people is based on the language, okay? Based on the language alone, how are you going to be able to make these different? If somebody says, if this girl was to say, and I don't think she means this, because I agree with Michael. I do think she means culturally. But when we have a media that starts to use terms like transracial, they are making these things very real. And like I said, the things we accept socially literally become a part of the fabric of everything we see going on around us. And it seeps into the schools and the legislation and everything else. And another very scary thing about this that I've talked about Another scary thing about this that I've talked about, this also highlights, when you think about it on the very surface level, this highlights the idea, my belief that they are trying to erase everything about everybody that makes them unique, whether that be, by gender, whether that be culturally. Oh, hold on. Whether that be culturally. Tassetti, thank you. Tassetti said, all right now, Miss Rhonda. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was trying to show it. There we go. Thank you, Tassetti. But, oh, I just lost my thought. Oh, but they are trying to just make this big group glob of otherness, right? And everybody's otherness is the same, and all the others compete to be the most favored other. This is literally what's happening right now in real time, y'all. Like, they're trying to make everybody experiences the same. And if you are one of the others, you cannot speak against another other. And then it mirrors, right? It mirrors this idea. I mean, when you think about it fundamentally, them trying to remove all these barriers, or these structures are of who people are, it kind of mirrors what we seeing happening with the border. Fundamentally, everybody's the same. Get rid of the wall. You don't need borders. Shoot, why can't a person in Saudi Arabia sitting on the UN make laws for people in America? Why the heck not? We're all the same. Why can't people just come into America without being vetted or having a social security card or having a driver's license just like me? Why not? So there's this effort to erase things about people under the guise of progressiveness and inclusiveness. And really nothing is that inclusive about it. Okay. Not only that, I warned y'all, months ago. I told y'all these states were going to start allowing these children to transition. And if you don't allow your child to transition, they're going to start taking the rights from the parents. This is happening in real freaking time. I was saying some stuff on Twitter, and people were like, that doesn't happen. 7-year-olds aren't transitioning. Okay. Try to show you better than I could tell you. But hey, Texas father blocked from stopping gender transition of son James 7 to girl called Luna. I'm wondering who picked his new name for him. This was according to the Washington Examiner. A jury in Texas returned a verdict on Monday that will prevent a Texas dad from intervening in the gender transition of his 7-year-old son. Jeffrey Younger had petitioned a court in Texas to grant him sole custody of his twin sons, James and Jude, in part to avoid a plan to infuse James with female hormones. James, who would like to be called Luna, has been the center of controversy and a heat debate among his parents and others. And Georgilis, I don't know how you say that. The mother of the two boys has advocated for James to transition into Luna and has strongly backed the idea of chemically castrating her son and beginning hormone replacement therapy. The ruling on Wednesday will prevent Jeffrey from having sole custody of his children and paves the way for the mother to proceed with the procedure. The court has ruled that the mom will maintain sole custody of her two children and go forward with the plans to give James life-altering medical procedures. Her original court filing had sought to limit her ex-husband's visits with their children and required that he now refer to James as Luna. She further asked that Jeffrey not be exposed to any people who would not confirm his female identity. Confirm, validate, whatever. Expert witnesses expressed doubt that James was fully convinced that he was inherently female in testimony last week. There is still some fluidity in his thinking. This was according to a doctor. Neither child appears to be depressed, anxious, or aggressive. James gave no indications of other significant psychological difficulties. There are new laws currently preventing a legal guardian from giving a minor puberty blockers or hormones. The mom has additionally secured a letter of recommendation for James from a woman associated with a gay children's therapy center. So I'm not even going to read all the rest of that. And I think y'all get the gist of that. But thank you, Michael. Michael said, I lost. Here's the money. Thank you, Michael. But I've told y'all, I've warned y'all, this is happening in real time. You have to let people know. We have to be freaking forward thinking. You have to let the people know in your sphere what they are supporting. Okay? I don't care what an adult chooses to do to their bodies, okay? But I've seen a lot of confused children. I've seen abused children. I've seen mentally disturbed children. And even just basic on a very surface level, I've seen children literally freaking change their minds all the time. All the time. I remember when I was little thinking I was going to be a baker. I want to bake cakes and stuff. Now look at me. Barely cook. No, I'm just playing. I cook from time to time. I like cooking. Now, I ain't like grandma in the kitchen, y'all. I ain't like that, but I like cooking from time to time. But when I was little, I was like, I'm gonna be a baker. I'm gonna bake cakes. I'm gonna have my own bakery. I don't even eat cake. I don't even eat cake. And I was dead set on the fact, I don't even remember where I got that idea from. I don't know people that bake. Like, at the time, I didn't know anybody that owned a restaurant. Like, I don't even recall what put that in my mind. And I'm sure I changed my mind seven other times, even like up until high school. A poet, a fashion designer, a lawyer, all kind of stuff. Oh, I want to be a hip hop ballerina. Patina said I want to be a ballerina. I want to be a hip hop ballerina. I want to do everything. But the fact of the matter is, I don't want to say drastically, man, but I have been through so many phases and changes, like mentally, emotionally, learning who I am, figuring myself out, and even the distinction from learning who you are apart from your family. Let's just talk about that in itself. Don't even get me started on how influential a person's family can be to their mentality, their psyche, the things they want or think they want and don't want, and how that separation after you come into adulthood forces you to stop and breathe and be like, okay, now who the heck am I actually, like, for real, for real? Thank you, Patina. Patina said, love your show. But even just that within itself, man. So you telling me these children can't get a tattoo, can't get a piercing, you can't even walk into the grocery store and order you some Benadryl. But you're telling me they have the mental depth and the emotional depth, because we never really talk about the emotional side of this, right? Because we know oftentimes a lot of people that transition still deal with the mental side of things. Something major is happening to your body. I don't want to, try to like belittle the issue, but I think a somewhat example could be like, do you know how you have somebody that may be like very obese or something like that, and they lose a lot of weight, right? And now they look totally different. They look great to people on the outside looking in, but they still kind of deal with like some of the insecurities, some of the heartache from that previous body, right? And they sometimes are still in that the body has changed, but the mental state has not. Okay. So some of these things are not talked about. I think a lot of times people look at things as very black and white. Things are presented to us, particularly through politics. They're presented in a way that are very surface level. And a lot of times in the social sphere, these topics are not really delved into deeply, and people looking at the pros and cons of things, the adverse effects of things. And this is why oftentimes when it comes to politics, they think we're dumb, y'all. But this is why oftentimes when it comes to politics, they wrap things up in a slogan, right? They wrap things up in a slogan: fight for 15, believe all women, kids in cages, my body, my choice. When oftentimes we know these are very simplistic, very just, I don't even want to say childish, but just very surface level ways to look at things, and they do those things for a reason, because it's like, oh, you don't gotta think about that, you just need to know this slogan and I'll do all the work for you, vote for me. And people be like, okay, fight for 15 sounds good, and you've never taken the time to think about the cons, the negative impact, adverse effect, nothing. It just sound good. Just what? And I think it's the same thing with what we see going on right now. with Always and with, these things that they're doing to these children. But it's sad. Thank you, Valdez. Valdez said, I wanted to be anything other than a left-wing nut job. And the confusing part to me, Valdez, is that only such a small, I would like to believe, only such a small portion of the population thinks this way. So how is the effect so big? Why is what we're seeing hitting so hard? It's like I'm seeing a lot of pushback, but I don't know if it matters. And the social engineering is strong, the establishment is strong, and I think over time people get mentally weak, and the more we see something, the more you become accustomed to it. Like, think about it, y'all. Like, think about it. Think how even up at a point with Black Lives Matter, when you had all these videos all over line of like Black men being killed and stuff like that, a lot of people initially were like offended or feel like this is too gruesome to be online. And not only that, when something would happen, people would talk about it for days, weeks at a time. Now you see a lot less of that. It was something else that I was going to say to go along with that. But it's like the longer and the more time you spend like normalizing things, it's like over time people become more susceptible. They become more okay with it. So how is such a small part of the population able to have this type of effect? It's crazy, man. It's crazy watching it in real time. Like, and it's only going to get worse, man. It's only going to get worse. And just think about a dad losing his rights to his child. We know how important dads are, regardless of what people try to tell you. You've seen the statistics. You've seen the statistics of all the things that a child that does not have a father in their life, whether it comes from high school dropout rate, more likely to go to prison, more likely to have identity issues, more likely to have anger issues. I mean, the list goes on and on. Y'all know the freaking statistics. And not only that, y'all know what y'all see with y'all own eyes. You know what you see with your own eyes. And there's already a problem with the way the government handles men, particularly when it comes to like family issues and children and stuff like that. But to have this happening just highlights a bigger, it highlights an issue, socially and legally. And it's just sad, man. It's just sad. And I know it's eating that dad up. I know it's eating him up. And you got dads out here that's not worth a crap, don't have anything to do with their kids. And then when you have a dad that's willing to fight for their kids, man. When you have a dad that's willing to fight for their kids, I'm telling y'all, it's some people, they hate the court system so much, or so they say, or they don't have the money, or so they say, that they're not touching anything when it comes to the government. They're like, well, bam, gotta handle it. I'm like, what? That's your kids, man. Fight for your kids. Fight for them. And that is commendable. So I know this man has probably spent a lot of money going through these proceedings, going through the court system, and this and the other. And then he probably has a, I would assume, not a good relationship with the mom. So, but this case, man, is a highlight of everything that's going on right now. Like Elroy said, broken families is a government policy. It really points at the way the system elevates the mom over the father. It points at the way that they are giving these children more and more autonomy over their bodies. I mean, it's happening, y'all. When I be making these predictions, one day they're gonna be like, "That RhondaMary girl, she might know what she be talking about." But man, so we have to be forward thinking, and really thinking of pros and cons of things we used to support. And I know, like, some things I used to support just based off the surface level. But then when I see how those things are impacting us culturally, socially, legally, it's like, dang, that's crazy, man. And I wouldn't have particularly expect this to happen in Dallas either, but can't run from it. So, but Wayne said, Rhonda, we should be crying instead of smiling. I'm telling y'all, I think I have walked into, and I think a lot of us and a lot of people that really rock with me, and I'm not saying you don't, Wayne. I'm not saying that, but and there's nothing wrong with praying and having good faith and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that I don't, but I think I've entered into like a new level of like consciousness where I don't even have the room for the emotional, like, I don't have the room for a lot of it anymore. I just be like, oh, okay, like, it's happening. People should know now. People should know we're at war. We're at war. Like, we're at war. And the psychological war is the biggest freaking component. It literally is the war. It's the psychological war, because I'm telling y'all, the psychological war is causing people to even think there should be a physical war. But it's hugely psychological. And how do people not see it? I don't know. And the freaking Bible forewarned y'all. Like, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. I don't, like, if people don't want to see, I don't know what more I can do but just be like, whoop the whoop, this was happening. Look at this article. How you gonna feel about it? You gonna do anything about it? You gonna say anything about it? And it's just that. But we have been forewarned, and people have to, it's a personal decision, man. It's a personal decision. Like, y'all don't, like, I try my best in my head to present stuff, not really like complain about stuff, because it's happening. I mean, it's just happening. It's happening in real time. Exposing it. Thank you, Michael Wright. Exposing it. Letting y'all know this is happening. This is happening. This is happening. And it's going to be up to the individual to be like, dang, I'm against that. Or dang, I don't care. And if they don't care, you are going to continue to see these things pushed further and further. Everything that biological women have is going to be removed over time. It's going to happen in little increments. It's already happening. It's not anything I have to whatever, but every single space, not only are you going to be able to have transgender women come into these spaces, but they are telling you now that gender is so fluid. You have 350 of them. So a male presenting person with a full freaking beard could still be like, I'm a woman, because gender is fluid and doesn't look a certain way. And so those people that are men and look like men will be able to go into those spaces. I'm not freaking making the rules. This is the thing. It's happening. I don't make the rules. I just try to interpret them and see what the heck is going on. But it's true. You literally have some people out here now. I was watching something on Vice News, and the dad walks around with a beard, I think a bald head with a skirt on. And so, it's like it's supposed to be visually confusing. They want it to be like that, where it's, not as detectable. And so those people will be able to enter whatever space. And it's crazy. I said, man, the patriarchy is smart as hell. The patriarchy has evolved just to still kick women's butts. Like, you got these women getting their skull beat in, broken. You got soon they're gonna be losing scholarships if they already aren't. I think they are, if I remember correctly. One girl was talking about it. You got the cyclists that just, I'm like, dang. Yeah, women made all their progress just to still be excluded by men. Like, how do that happen? Make it make sense, man. I'm like, these folks are wild, and like, it's crazy out here, y'all. But I just be like, man. So I just try to keep my head up, think about the positive stuff, keep it moving. RBR said, ain't no real brothers taking Tyler Perry in a dress over RhondaMary. What a waste of time to even discuss this nonsense. I haven't even gotten to the dating aspect of it. I haven't even gotten to the dating aspect of it. This is not even about the dating aspect or who's choosing who. This is about legislation. This is about, what y'all gonna have to understand about me, I don't routinely be on no BS. Every single thing, I try to keep this channel. This is why I haven't got to the point where I just hit y'all with like just stuff. I don't be hitting y'all with a lot of videos, because when I'm talking about something, I am talking about things that have the potential to affect you socially, culturally, and legally. I ain't on here spending an hour talking about he said this, she said that, today somebody tweeted this. Like, who gives a crap? But at the end of the day, when you got that young girl who had to overcome every freaking obstacle to even get in college, maybe the first from her generation, first from her family to get into college, and then you got to compete with somebody that just transitioned in a year for scholarships to win first place, to be recognized. When you got these kids, I literally, y'all, I watched a segment on the news the other day. It was a local news channel, and I emailed them to ask me to send a segment because you played it on TV, but I can't find it online. But they literally talked about, they interviewed people and was just asking them simple questions, and the people couldn't even answer the questions, and like about the government. And the title of the segment was like, civics is leaving education. And at the end of the segment, the newscasters was basically like, they don't have time to study civics in schools anymore. But I'm like, you got time to teach about all these different genders? You have time to teach about, I've showed y'all this. I be showing y'all stuff. I don't come on here and just be talking. You have time to tell kids about not only homosexual but pedophilic relationships in Greek culture. Like, you have time for that, but you don't have time to tell these kids, teach them their rights, teach them what the government is supposed to be about, teach them anything about like American history. Are you freaking kidding me? So I'm not on here talking about people's personal preferences, their sexual preferences. But when what you're doing is literally affecting the media, affecting the laws, affecting what's socially acceptable or not, now you're starting to affect me. It's just that simple. So Derek said, I'm scared they'll get rid of homeschooling. I don't know. Like, I don't know how they would do that, and people would go crazy. Like, people would get upset. But I did see something where in California, because California is so progressive, but they were making new restrictions against homeschooling to basically like deter people from homeschooling. So I wouldn't say it's extremely far-fetched. But Michael Ray said, I would like to know when they took history out of schools and replaced it with pop culture. Then they don't teach you true history. They don't really go into stuff and understanding the concepts of stuff. It just be random, like facts. You know what I mean? But so, like, don't ever think is not real out here, and this stuff is not happening in real time. And I always be showing y'all the videos and the articles and everything to confirm it, the freaking tweets and everything else. And you can always do the research for yourself. But it's literally happening out here. They are putting sexual themes, I guess that's a way to kind of, but they are putting sexual themes into children's books. But you're telling me you don't have time to teach them civics and what the American government is supposed to do. And maybe that's why we have so much government overreach now, and people thinking the government is supposed to like cower to them and take care of them and be some type of fairy godmother or motherly figure. And I'm like, dang, no reason y'all don't understand the government. No reason you ready to give all your freaking rights away, because you don't even know what your rights are supposed to be or were intended to be. You have no clue. So but all right, y'all. So thank y'all for everybody tonight who super chatted. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for always rocking with me on Tuesdays and supporting me. Thank y'all to the people that share my videos, like the videos, and everything else. We'll be doing some more stuff soon. We'll have some more call-in shows. coming up. I'll let y'all know like when and how we're gonna do that. Maybe we'll have RBR call in and troll me for a little bit. I don't know, before I decide to just hang up on them. That's always an option, and we'll see what happens. But thank y'all. Everybody have a good night, and I'll be talking to y'all soon, and y'all know I will keep y'all updated the best I can of what's going on. So y'all have a good night. Bye.